After they cut the flap in my eyeballs, they told me to get up and walk to the other bed. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle, and before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that I post on this channel every Tuesday and every Friday, and I would love for you to hit subscribe, stick around, join me in my little corner of YouTube here. Today I wanted to talk all about my Lasik eye surgery experience. Now Lasik is something that I waited many years to have. I was super excited about it, and overall 10 out of 10 would recommend, would do it again a million times. In this video I'm going to break it down to a couple different sections. I'm gonna get into the details, how much it costs, and all that kind of good stuff. A little background on my eyesight and all that kind of good stuff. At my worst, right before I got LASIK done, my left eye was at -7 and my right eye was at a -6.5 prescription, with my left eye also having a scar across my cornea from just crazy dryness in the past when I used to wear contacts. It made my eyes so dry that it left a scar. Because of that scratch, I developed astigmatism in my left eye. I had started wearing glasses when I was 9 years old, and it got progressively worse up until about a year before I got my surgery done. I got my surgery done on January 18th of 2019, so over a year and a half ago. Now, about a year before the surgery date was when my prescription started stabilizing, and I knew that my prescription needed to be stable for at least a year before I could even be considered as a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. When I was wearing the same glasses for a little over a year, I got really excited. It was the first time since I was 9 years old that my prescription didn't go up, so I decided to start doing some research on LASIK. I found this company called LASIK Plus, which is where I got my surgery done. It was just a place that was close to where I lived in Philadelphia at the time. They're not everywhere, but they're kind of semi-popular. It had a ton of good reviews, and that was really huge for me. I'm not typically like a huge review person, but when it came to my eyes, I mean, I only get 2 of these my entire life, so I wasn't about to play any games, and I would much rather wear glasses and contacts for the rest of my life than to put that in jeopardy. I decided to do a free consultation to find out if I was even a candidate. When I went in, they did all the tests on my eyes, all the good stuff, all the lights and everything. They did all of that twice through and let me know that I was a candidate. And not only that, they gave me information on the actual surgeon. They let me know that he was extremely selective. There's a certain percentage of people that are candidates that he doesn't do surgeries on because he really doesn't personally think the person's gonna fully get what they want out of the surgery. So I knew the doctor was trustworthy. I felt good about the reviews and other people's experiences at this place. So I decided to go ahead and make my appointment for my LASIK eye surgery. Now let's talk about pricing. I actually have my receipt here that they gave me the day I went in. What I got done is technically called the Wavelight Intralaser Bladeless All Laser LASIK, and they priced each eye separately. At the time, I didn't have any health insurance, and because I didn't have any health insurance, they offered a discount for each eye. Before the discount, each eye cost $2,295. In my opinion, that's a lot of money for anything. I mean, almost $5,000 on eyes is no joke. But the discount they offered for people who were not using insurance was a $1,300 discount, which brought my total price down to $3,290. As with anything else, there are the add-on costs. So on top of taxes and everything, they also charge you for these eye drops and these eye drops. They stockpile you with these, and I will get into these a little bit later in the video. 2 of these were $22. 6 packs of these came out to $95. And also before the surgery, they gave you a prescription for, I think, 2 different eye drops that you were supposed to take. One before the surgery, one after the surgery. Something like that. I don't remember exactly, and I don't have the eye drops still. I know for sure you have to use for at least a week after the surgery. My total with the 2 eyes, with the discount, with the prescription, with both of the eye drops came out to $3,402 flat. We made a deposit of $800, and then I financed the rest of the surgery costs, which I'm still paying off. Now, money-wise, in my opinion, I think this is so worth it. I did the math with the cost of my glasses that I was having to get every single year, the cost of my contact lenses, the thickness of my actual glasses lens. Because my prescription was so high, these lenses were thick, and I always had to pay extra to get them thinned out, and then the different coatings and protections and all that kind of stuff. And I was part of the eye care club at America's Best. For me, about 3 years of glasses / contact / eye doctor appointments came down to about the same cost as LASIK. So it was a no-brainer for me. I'm in my early 20s, and something the doctor explained to me was that the younger you are when you get it done, the more use essentially you get out of the surgery. Even though I'm still paying it, it is absolutely 100% worth every single penny. Before we get into this next part, which is the surgery day, I just wanted to give a little trigger warning to anyone who's grossed out when we talk about eyes and lasers in eyes and pressure on an eyeball and all that kind of stuff. If that's not you, you can skip to this timestamp and we'll get into my overall thoughts on the whole situation. Finally, the day came where I was gonna get my surgery done. I'll actually insert a picture they took, and I was holding up a little sign that I think said like last day wearing glasses, something like that. And you can see how thick my lenses were. And I never wore glasses in front of people because I was just embarrassed. That morning, the nurse took me in. I met with the surgeon as well. They checked every single one of my numbers all over again 2 more times to make sure everything was exactly how it was supposed to be. After that, they gave me 2 sleeping pills, which came in very handy later, and they put numbing eye drops in both of my eyes to prepare me for the surgery. So we step into the surgery room and there are 2 beds. They lay me down on the first bed. You're awake the whole time, by the way. You can't feel any pain because of the numbing eye drops, but you are very awake and you're very aware. There's a laser that comes over. They say stare at the green dot. I stared at the green dot. Suddenly I heard a sound, and to be completely honest, you can smell the laser. Like, burning flesh has a scent. I smelled something. I feel like I could smell the laser. They actually cut out a flap that I believe goes around half of your iris or something like that. And then they grab a little tiny instrument or whatever and they flip it over. Now, when that happens, you can tell because all of a sudden everything goes like poof. Everything goes beyond blurry. This was the part that no one told me and I really wasn't expecting it, but after they cut the flap in my eyeballs, they told me to get up and walk to the other bed. You're not under any anesthesia, so it's not like you can't get up and walk, but it's just like so weird because as I'm walking to this other bed, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, there's eye flaps. Like, my eye flaps are just hanging loose. I lay down on the second bed. They bring the laser, and this is the laser that actually does all the correction stuff. They tell me once again to stare at the green dot. Their technology tracks your little involuntary eye movement because that's something I was really stressed about. Like, the whole time I'm laying there, I'm like, what if I sneezed? Or what if I just like jerked my head over? And I was annoyed at myself for thinking these things, but I couldn't help it. Here is my subpar explanation on what happens when that laser touches your eye. Everything we see is really just how light hits the back of our eye, the nerves, all those little receptor thingies. Light comes into our eye, it reads it a certain way, and then we see. Now, when you have bad eyesight, it's because the light is hitting either too high or too low above right where it's supposed to hit. I think it's the optic nerve, don't quote me. Light is hitting either above or below it, not directly on it. This laser goes in and it reshapes your eye. Now, when light comes in, it makes it so that the light hits that optic nerve, whatever it's called, exactly where it's supposed to, thus resulting in perfect vision. I feel like I understand that as like they just internally put glasses inside me. Something I forgot to mention, right before all of this happens, they put these little like suction cups on your eye. You feel the pressure of these suction cups, and this is just to keep everything clean, like they have a clean workspace on your eyeballs, and the entire time they're pumping like liquid into your eye, so you never have that super dry eye feeling where you're like, oh my goodness, I have to blink. You don't feel that. They're putting liquid into your eye. Everything is moisturized and good. But you do feel the pressure of the suction cup in your eye. And some people even get like a little eye hickey around the white part of their eye a couple days after the surgery from the suction cup. But it doesn't actually hurt. Now, again, during this laser, I do think, again, I could smell my eyeball burning. So the laser does what it needs to do, and then they put the flap back down, pump it with liquid. Because of what our eyes are made of, there's no stitching, nothing like that is needed. The liquid that they pump into your eye just makes everything smooth, and then your eye just actually heals by itself, which is freaking incredible. I will never forget the moment I got up from that surgery bed. Everything was foggy. It was as if someone turned on a haze machine inside the surgery room. But even through the fog, I could see clearer than I ever remember seeing. In that moment, I couldn't help it, but I cried. Like, I was just an emotional mess because I could not believe that it worked. That for the first time since I was like 9 years old, so for as long as I could remember, I could see without glasses. I think especially if you have bad eyesight, it's an emotional experience to feel like you got something back. My mom helped me walk out of the procedure room. She drove us home, and now this is when it started hurting so bad. It hurt so bad. This is why they give you 2 sleeping pills before the surgery, because this is the only part that hurts. The numbing eye drops start fading away, and I started feeling it when we were still about 20 minutes away from being home, and oh my goodness. The only way I can describe it is as if you have 1,000 eyelashes caught in your eye and you're blinking, and it feels like you're blinking on top of all of these eyelashes, and they're scraping against your eye, and your eye's just constantly watering. Like you cannot control it. You are just crying involuntarily. But these sleeping pills are supposed to help you get home and knock out. It took me a little bit, but thank God I took those sleeping pills because I knocked out. I woke up like 7 hours later. After I woke up, I felt nothing. I felt completely fine. I could see. Things were still a little bit hazy, but I could see, which was insane. I wasn't 20/20 yet. Within, I would say, the first month, I was progressively getting better and better. I mean, I would take what I could see in that moment over anything previous to that. This is when a lot of eye drops happen. I found the exact eye drops that they tell you to take. One of them is called Polytrim. The other one is Pred Forte. Prednisone, I don't know. On the day of the surgery, after you wake up from your nap, you put in 1 drop of each of these medications every 2 hours for the first 24 hours. And then starting the day after your surgery, that's when these come in. These are Blink Tears Lubricant eye drops. You can find them anywhere. You can find both of these anywhere. This is the Blink Gel Tears. I still use both of these to this day. This is just a one-time use little saline that you can just pop this off, untwist it, put it in your eye, throw this out, good to go. Sanitary, love it. This one I use still at night. This has more of a thick consistency. It's a little bit more viscous. Absolutely great. Love using it every single night. What was really cool was that the very next morning, I was able to drive myself to my post-op appointment by myself. I mean, my mom was in the car with me, but I was able to drive myself and see the signs on the road. That was insane because that was 1 day after my surgery. For the place where I got my Lasik done, they have like a lifetime guarantee where if your prescription starts diminishing, if your eyesight starts diminishing, and it's not natural occurrence like when I'm in my 40s and probably will need reading glasses anyway, they will fully cover even redoing the surgery. In order for that to be activated, I need to go to a certain number of post-op appointments, and so I went to my final one, I think about a month out. The doctor tested my eyesight, 20/20, was incredible, happiest I've ever been. The surgery did fix my astigmatism, which I didn't think was possible. I had heard previously that it wasn't possible, but the doctor explained to me that it was possible with this new laser, and so my astigmatism in my left eye is actually completely gone, which is funny because my left eye was always my worst eye, and now my left eye I still think is slightly better than my right eye, even though I'm 20/20. I don't know the exact, but I feel like my left eye is a little bit better than my right eye. One thing that I did notice, now I've always had halos and starbursts. A starburst is when you look at the light, like you're sitting at a traffic light at night, you look at it and there's like rays coming out of the light, and a halo is exactly what you think it is. You look at a light and there's just like an orb of glow around it. I really experienced that my whole life. Nothing really changed much. I still have it just as much. It's really unnoticeable. I never think twice about it. It's not like it got significantly worse or anything like that. Now, over a 1.5 years out, what do I think? How am I feeling? I think it's amazing. I would do it all over again. 10 out of 10 would recommend. My halos and starbursts are completely fine. I don't really notice anything different. They've been the same for the past 1.5 years, as they had always been with contacts and glasses. I do still always use these eye drops, the gel tears, before bed. I find that like right now at night, my eyes start getting a little dry. I start blinking a lot more. So these are my go-to. Use them every single night. Absolutely love them. We'll probably keep using them forever. And I do carry these in my bag just in case something happens. So to wrap it all up, what I would recommend to you if you're looking into getting LASIK is, number 1, do your research. Find the location that you really trust. If something makes you feel sketched out by either the location or the doctor, it's not worth it. Make sure you feel really, really confident about who your doctor is, the location, the reviews of the place, other people's experiences before you have people put lasers in your eyeballs. And the second thing I would say is get it done as young as you can. The earlier you get it done, the more use you'll get out of it, because as the doctor explained to me, genetically, once I hit my 40s, probably gonna need reading glasses or something like that. Anyway, I got it done at 23. She said this is a great age to get it done because you're gonna get very long use of your perfect eyesight. So I would say if you are a candidate, do it. It's worth every penny. Look for a place that does financing if you can't put all the money down at once. So worth it. So that is it for today's video. If I didn't answer the question you wanted to know, or if I didn't touch on a specific topic, feel free to leave a comment down below, leaving me any questions about LASIK, and I will answer them. You can also shoot me a DM on Instagram. My @ will be right here, and the link will be in the bio. You can always shoot me a message, leave me a comment, and I will get back to you. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I value every single view, and I'm so thankful for each and every viewer, each and every person that watches these videos. I really don't take it for granted, and I'm excited for my journey here in my little corner of the internet. So again, hit like and subscribe if you like this video, and if you would like to stick around for more. I will see you next Tuesday. Deuce.